School story. Alright. This is a Monday story, okay? So, yeah. Let me tell you what happened that day. Alright, so during that day, in the morning, I was just, with my friends and everything. And, you know, and I was just having fun with them. And during first period, I was just doing my, playing some games, and talked to some teacher. So, everything was fine. I was just like showing like talking about like birds and other stuff, and after class, I was walking out, but I accidentally got bumped to someone. I didn't pay attention because I was on my phone. Oh jeez. But during second period, I dressed out. We were doing running and all stuff. So everything was nice. So but after that, I was dressing out. I was wearing my shorts. Might be short, but it was starting to feel hot. And somebody accidentally pushed the teacher, and I'm like, oof. You know? I'm like, what the heck? It's some back shot or something like that. And during breakfast, I was with my English teacher, and during third period, I was just doing some works, doing vocab studying, and more stuff like well, we're good to read the stories, so yeah, vampire is coming back. I noticed, but yeah. Oh yeah. During fourth period, I was just continuing doing my work. I was like, that feels good, but but I tried my best. I completed the work, so yeah. It's HTML, so I am. It's very hard to do it. But during um, fifth period, oh yeah, oh wait, during lunch, I was just hanging out with my classmate. Oh yeah, I went to lunch. I was just getting some food. I give some chips to this girls. Plus this group of boys saying, "Hey, come here, come here." I talk to this guy right here. He look at me. He's like, "Get out of here!" And yeah, I'm not gonna say the word. Like to just say hard R at me. I'm like, oh, okay, okay. And I went to those girls. I was just talking to them, and somehow, I think there was a school fight. I said, how did the vice principal go in there and some security guard? I was recording it, and some boys saw me recording it. But yeah, and during oh yeah, during world history of fifth period, where doing work like you could make your own empire or something like that. I was like, okay, okay, and they was playing Star Wars. I was being goofy like, hey, ha 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 ha. Something like that, and this guy right here, the teacher, he's like, hey, Jay, we could keep it down. I'm like, oh, okay, okay. And this guy right here, his girlfriend, he said to me like, hey, is your name Adrian? I say yes. He said, explain our word. I'm like, oh my god, not that stupid name himself. Adrian, explain our word. It's so stupid. But yeah. And during sixth period, I was singing Kim McDonald's. And someone were doing work and everything. And there's one freaking question. the sensor saying 6, 7. I'm like, I really want to say it in the class, but I'm like, I say a little bit like 6, 7. Like I can't, you know. Like I can't help it when I see something goofy stuff. Like I really want to spit it out. Yeah. And during 7th period, we're doing works, like about butterfly. And my friend Alan class got changed. The good news is that his PE got changed, but the bad news is he just called me today after school. Is that he's no longer in my 7th period, so yeah, I'm still going to talk about him and throughout the school story, whatever happened. But still, you don't have 7th period no more, unfortunately. But still, I hope he enjoy his his new class. But yeah, I will miss him. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice. It was just all chill and everything, doing works and science. And after that, my mom picked me up, and yeah. And also, I'll see you in Tuesday. School story. Alright, this was Tuesday, so this is a Tuesday story. Alright, I forgot to mention this on Monday. There was a fire alarm during 7th period, and my friend Alan was like, I was like he didn't like it. Everyone else saying to forgot how fire alarm stopped. So yeah. But back to the Tuesday story. In the morning, I was just showing some funny video to this guy right here. He's like, bro, start already showing you some freaking fun, those type of video. And I'm showing some freaking more weird video. He's like, I can't do this no more. I can't. Freaking grab his paper and start walking away. I'm like, what the heck? And during the first period, during my work, I freaking care about like doing this. Okay, what like what is it? And then whenever I turn back, he just stopped. Like he keep doing that. Like I'm like, Gabriel, bro. While I was working on my history work, this guy right here, I was just saying some words to his teacher, but he's like, what? This guy right here, he's very smart, to be honest. I like historical stuff and other like games like Warhammer 40K, so yeah. But when I was like talking to him, he's like, no, just talking just here, this teacher, about my thing, and I misunderstood this word. He's like, wait, like, was it a word, this and that, like he didn't like that, but somehow I'm like, no, like, like, hey, everyone's not perfect, we sometimes make mistakes when we talk, so yeah, he's like, oh, okay. And there's two guys doing this, like, snapping their finger, and this guy right here, so he didn't like it, make a noise, and I know that could be annoying, because he trying to do something, and then it's pretty irritating you. They keep doing that to him, so yeah. And also, plus he still didn't bring his computer to my study skills teacher. And he told him that, like, if you don't bring it, I'll come to your house to, to what's going on, like why you're not giving the computer. I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah. And during second period, we're doing running stuff and everything. And so, while we're doing other like running things and everything, we went to inside the gym. We're doing push up and legs and arms, and somehow, oh yeah, squat. Someone was screaming and saying, about to come. They're like, what the heck? Plus, I was just talking to him, like, saying, like, love, let me tell him how much I love about you now. Or hate, let me tell him how much I hate about, Husband Hotel. Let me tell him how much I hate about that. So, yeah, they were like, what the heck is this kid talking about? So, I went to third period. I was playing volume the song of Funky Friday. Like, do you know, I want to make you. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing a freaking copyright song. While I was playing that, it was a chip spinning around. And I went to my ninth grade English class. And she thought the speaker was getting hacked out. I said, that was me. I was playing that song. I'm like, what the heck is it? Yeah, I showed the video. She's like, oh my god, that's so ridiculous. A chip spinning around. And during English, we're just reading and everything. Buzz. We're just like passing paper to student, you know, of their work or test score. My English teacher was playing piano. I'm like, that's interesting, you know? That's interesting. I like that. I like that. He was playing good, you know, because he's a professional piano guy. And during fifth period, we're doing like a Hispanic stuff. So the teacher tells us like, if we get a good Hispanic stuff, like we will win a prize. I'm like, oh heck yeah! So we're doing this and that, and plus we're doing goofy stuff like, oh, I was playing SR Pillow, like Eno can match you. Oh, but April Fool, and they're like, get this kid out of here. I really want to shoot him. I'm like, okay. And they tell me I was born in this small town right there. I'm like, suck it, like, shut up. I like, shut up. Plus, there's a freaking La Boom Boom with a freaking Mexico. I'm like, why you choose that? Why didn't you choose other famous Mexican character? At least this guy chooses. I forgot, you wear like a green beanie or something like that. And I was showing some freaking real life criminal of Mexican or villain, and they're like, nah, you can't do that. So just do it, and my teacher told me to not do that. Because I would look at this guy like made up story. Like, hey, I accidentally said something to my sister this word, and she understand it, and she did not like it. So yeah. And after class, you know, I went to I went to lunch, you know. I was having fun and everything with those girls. And I think this girl was bringing up a story. Like, oh, I was sleeping with my boyfriend. I forgot to wear a protective thing. I'm like, what? I was so freaking confused what was going on, but still, I don't even know what the heck they were saying, you know. So yeah. And during fifth period, we're continuing doing our work, but and the computer has a black thing right there, like a broken screen. It's not cracked, but it's just like some student was making fun of like, oh, they shot him. He's like, shut up. I tell him like, do you slam my heart? He's like, no. Do you drop your back? He's like, no. Like, I did not. Like he was upset. Plus, his stomach was hurt. I tell him like, you should tell the teacher. Like, you know, you should go. Like, no, I need to finish this first. I'm like, yeah, you don't really listen. Plus, I was just doing my work. I would get frustrated with this question, but until I understand it. Oh yeah, by the way, I asked this teacher of, oh yeah, Like I see you eat some good food, and I bet you're hungry for those doing like this. My mother eat fries. Stupid memes I always see on Instagram. And also I talked to this guy right here. Like, hey, like your vet tell me to talk to this guy and hey, like I accidentally goon of you, of a photo of you, and he's like, plus this guy right here tell me, Adrian, explain how we're team because my first real name is Adrian. So yeah, I'm like, shut up with that name, shut up. And during sixth period, we're doing math homework, studying, and everything. And everything was fine, so yeah. And during seventh period, oh wait, let me think about it. Well, yeah, most of it is fine. Because I was making joke with this guy right here. I was making joke with saying 6, 7, you know, and doing Spanish version. Sin Cynthia, oh yeah, I did it on fourth period too. They're like, what the heck? And during seventh period, we're learning about like more new stuff, like about animals, like prey and predators. We're writing our notes. Everything was fine, so yeah. And so sad that I don't see Alan in seventh period no more. But hey, at least he has sixth period. I saw him in the morning. He was talking to me. But yeah, plus he was eating my chips, my flaming hot. I told him like, yeah, this is making me feel more sick. I'm like, well, stop eating it, okay? Plus I say coronavirus news. I'm like, uh-oh. Like, you better stop eating it or it might get worse. After seventh period, I freaking start screaming and we start recording like this. Ah! 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 So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all. Oh. So see you in Wednesday. Goodbye. School story. All right, this is Wednesday. Today is Thursday, so I gotta do this quick. So yeah. All right. So on the morning on Wednesday, I was all chill, just playing my phone, showing some funny video of you know weird video to my friend Alakai. So yeah, Honor, and yeah, I just cut my hair. And another thing is first period. I didn't even study my vocab. So what happened? I went to Canvas, write all the vocab and the definition, and then I study. And after that, I went to speech class. We're learning about Titanic. A lot of people died and everything. Yeah, it got crashed by a freaking ice. Ice. Oh my gosh. And during second period, we were running and every day we're doing some doing this and that. And yes, I was studying. I was studying my test. And breakfast time, it was alright. It was alright. And third period, I was just, you know, doing my test and I got 12 out of 12. Yay. But there's another upcoming test of which I had to learn about this character and the story, so yeah. And uh, another one is oh yeah, during fourth period I was doing my work while my classmate are making Hispanic most picture. So yeah, I don't like hacking. I'm not gonna let those other class to win. I need this class to win a prize. So yeah, but they still drawing the Labubu and it still piss me off. So yeah, and during fifth period, I was just doing works, highlighting the words. It was pretty easy assignment, but still, I was talking to the teacher about my story about Sensu. So, start as like, okay, so the plot, it's about like Sensu, like, in the introduction show how Earth was created and how species started to become like us. They already know how to make weapons, make their own house, and million years like they started have water, desert, snow, and plants and everything. But there's this one species named Akuma who is a silver fox, and he was the devil himself. Nobody knows what he came from. He probably came from hell. He probably was created. Nobody knows. They they don't know where he came from. But the another thing is um is that we came across with this 9 years later after Okuma the spirit, we came across with this two Kinsu species. There was a male Kinsu and a female Kinsu. The female Kinsu was pregnant, and somehow the male Kinsu was trying to help her, but he yelled for help. The army helped them. And hours later, yes, she did successfully give birth, and somehow he say the baby looked beautiful, and somehow uh, the male can still say to her like, "What will you name him?" And she say, "I'll name him Susensu," and that's how our main protagonist was born. So I will explain the whole thing, but I don't want to spoil it more. But yeah, and yeah, that was the introduction I was talking about of chapter one. I'm still working on this, so don't worry. I almost done. I almost done. I'm not in a rush. I try not to be in a rush. So yeah. And um oh yeah, like just continue working, putting definition and the math. We're doing tests and oh wait, yeah, and lunch we saw about this Claire Kirk. So if you don't know what was going on, he got shot. Look, okay, I'm trying to be a politics guy. So yeah, he got shot, and this girl right here, she my friend. Someone she said like I think he's going to die. Well, and during sixth period, I was doing some math tests, and then after finish it, I put my computer. I was about to do my work, but until I noticed, yeah, she was right. He did die. I was doing this at the same Mission Incredible, like, oh my gosh. Like, I wasn't, like, I'm surprised that he died. Like, I already know he's going to start to die. I'm oh shoot. But still, it was shocking for me. So, yeah. And there's seven period, we're doing writing this big paper about this other stuff like an element or something and everything. We're putting this and that. So yeah, we're writing and this right here and and yeah, everything was okay. Just writing, of about species, but it's pretty hard. It's very hard to do it. So yeah, my bird is whistling. And you're wondering, how's Alan doing, AJ? Well, he's doing alright. I didn't even see him yesterday, but If I see him today on Thursday, I'll make a video about it. But see you later. I'll talk about what happened today. Oops. School story. Alright, so let's talk about Thursday. Yes, you heard about the incident of Charlie. I was sorry on that last clip you saw. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, I found the footage uncensored, but I showed it to my friends. They're like, AJ, how do you find that footage? And they tell me to send it to them. I'm like, okay, here we go. And like, boom, just like that. I just send the video to them. But somehow, I was like showing it. I'm not gonna describe it, but just do your own thing. Well, if you don't want to, that's okay. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to be disrespectful. But still, I was showing that to my classmates. They were like shocked. They're like, "What the heck? How you find that?" And somehow during first period doing my work, there's this guy right here who's like telling this dude right here like why didn't you bring his girl Peter to her teacher or something? I'm like, what the heck is going on in there? No, because I don't even know what the heck's going on. But still, and during second period, um, during second period, I was just like doing PE stuff, you know. We were doing standing like this right here on the floor, like trying to do like this. So yeah, like okay, so we're doing like this and doing like that, you know, while putting our body in the ground. And I was like, ah! I was screaming. I was like, ah! Ah! I was literally screaming around my look. I was like, ah! And during third period, um, somehow, we're just reading this book. We just finished it there. And you know, I love you. So this character committed suicide, and this guy right here is the main villain. His wife committed suicide. His son committed suicide. Like, you know, he just lost everything, and the main character, he's struggling, you know. And I think he died or something like that. So yeah, I mean, he was struggling with his life or his personality. He was his personality. So yeah. And another thing is, during fourth period, we're continuing doing the work. I finished the first work, but we're just working on another one. But I was showing those videos. Charlie got assassinated. But during fifth period, we're in work history. We're doing works. You know, everything was fine. You know, so yeah. Oh yeah, during lunch, we're like, I trying to get some lunch to those girls, and got some candy and bracelet. You know, the heck did that sticker come from? I just noticed that. And during that, you know, while I left the table, those girls were like, "Hey, can you watch?" They tell from preventing those kids to go to thing, and then when I come back, freaking bunch of boys just came out of nowhere. I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah, that's my chips and sandwich. And those girls like, oh, AJ. And I told her like, and those girls sit there, but this was okay. But we went inside the place. But I did put a nice note about the suicide prevention. I put this. I say something like be careful. Like the more you're stressed out, the more you get powerful with the depression. But it do have a weakness. Like that weakness is helpful. Helpful will defeat the depression because you know the healthy things will it's a light. which is power to stop the darkness of depression. And when you beat that thing, it'll become more less powerful because the depression don't want to hate that light. They want to control your body to what to do. So when someone help you, you need to let them to help you because the depression trying to stop you and they trying to control your body of what to do. But when someone help you, the depression started going away. And that helpful is a power weapon to stop the depression. And after that, you were safe. Now your body is now back to normal. And yeah, you don't feel depressed anymore because there's someone who cares about you. And I know that. I know when everyone say like, oh, I'm going to commit suicide, something like that. Always talk to them. Do not, ignore them. Sometimes you need to talk to them. You need to save them. Even though it could be hard to help them, you still need to try your best as much as you can to make them feel better. The more you help, the more it will get better for you. Really, even though it's not working, you still need to, even though it's hard. So you need to tell someone to help your lives. Now, back to the thing. During sixth period, we're doing math works. And everything was fine. Plus, I went to score on the math thing. So, yeah, I was like, yay, I went to score, let's go. So, and during seventh period, we're continuing doing our project, and we finish it, like boom. And I put BoJack Horseman because I'm a fan of BoJack Horseman because I love BoJack Horseman, and like I like learning about science. It is very cool. Just playing every day with my classmates. Like we work together and then boom, we finish it. But I'm gonna work on the BoJack Horseman tomorrow. It was due today, but I think I could have a chance of coloring it. So yeah. Yeah. See you on Friday. Bye.
School story. Alright. I forgot to make this video yesterday. And now today is Sunday. You're looking at this clip on a Sunday. So my apologize. Anywho, let's start with this. Alright. So I got everything cleaned up just today, but on the morning I was just solving a Rubik's cubes, because I love solving Rubik's cubes. So yeah, I was using this, you know. I was using this. So while I was just like, you know, solving this, and we're just talking with my friends. So yeah, and somehow during first period, freaking Gabriel grabbed my Rubik's cube like ooh, and I grabbed his arm. He told me like to let go of me, like to let go of him. So I'm like, my apologize, Gabriel. So yeah, and I showed Gabriel what I was doing, and somehow I was just solving the Rubik's cube like and behind, and he was like, "What the heck?" Like I just solved it like in front of him. So yeah, and another thing is I was just doing my work. And second period is I was doing PE. And I was doing solving cubes in front of them. And they're like, what the heck? That kid just solved a Rubik's cube. I'm like, yeah, I know. And somehow they're like, hey, look, how about we scramble it for you? And then I was like, okay. And then they show me. I'm like, ooh. I'm like, oh, okay, let me nice like, and then it took me a while, and then yeah, I didn't even freaking know what to do, and they're like, I try to look up my class, and they're like, do not look at your class, do not look at your class. I'm like, so yeah, and somehow I was just like, I just want to go to my class already, and then when when the teacher was so, I'm like, okay, 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 and somehow my PE teacher saw me. He was like, AJ, uh, if we saw that cube, uh, he say something like about the running thing that we could get less. And they're like, come on, AJ, you could do this, and then nope, that never happened. And we end up doing some running thing, you know. So yeah, and another thing um is that we were playing sports, and I was almost there solving the cubes. So yeah, and I was just playing sports with my friends. And after that, we went back to the locker room, and yeah, everything was fine. And another thing is um, during third period, um, during third period is we're doing like question thing. I didn't freaking pay attention because I didn't even know what the heck the story was about. So yeah, but don't worry, I did my Google search yesterday, and then I already know what the heck is about. So yeah, and I was like, oh, like do my research and everything. But my teacher told me to pay attention next time, what I'm doing. So yeah, I don't even. Sometimes some story like could be good writing, but I just it's so freaking many. I sometimes have a hard time to hear a student like what they're saying, in the story. So yeah, and during uh fourth period, we're just like doing work. I was solving a Rubik's cube for them, and yeah. I mean, everything was fine. So yeah, and oh damn, I just solved it. What the heck? And yeah, during fourth period, I was just doing my work. It's a long assignment, but thank God my teacher put due on September 26th. So yeah, but still, it's pretty long. But it's like a coded thing. So yeah, and after class, I was like hanging out with my friends. I was about to do my work, but that didn't happen because Calvin popped out of nowhere, and I was like, okay, okay. We were watching video, and until freaking Calvin played this song like, oh Nishua, I have a deal, like it sounded like that. I'm like, shut up with that noise. They're like, what the heck? Like, I'm like, oh, bro, like they're looking at us like, hey, Calvin, you better shut up. And he freaking opened the door right here, outside, and he played the sound of, oh Nishua, I have it. I'm like, oh my gosh, Calvin, oh my gosh. You're gonna get us in trouble. They're never gonna think we're weird. What the heck? And ignore my hair. And also, after that, the break of lunch, uh, I went to my fifth period class. We're doing work. Plus, I was showing Rubik's Cube solving to my teacher. While we were doing some work, I was doing like solving things, and they're like, oh. Like I showed them to them, and then somehow they're like, what the heck? And this guy tell me this guy is freaking alien, like because I just solved it like nothing, because, and somehow it's the fact that like everyone like tell me to scramble it, but they try to solve it, but they couldn't. They're like, you know, like they get turns like, hey, can you give me that solving cube? You know, they try solve it and everything because I couldn't even solve it because I messed it up. So yeah, and yeah, everything was fine. And during sixth period, we were doing works, you know, of well, my teacher wasn't there today, but while we doing work, freaking my dude come out of nowhere. He's like, wait, can you give me that cube? And he was like, so like somehow he was just like doing it like nothing. He was like, uh-huh. So like he already know the moves and everything, and then until like he solved it, I'm like, what the heck? Like he just solved it like nothing, you know. And then he did it again, and then he's like solving the like boom, just like that. You know, it was cool when he was solving it, and yeah. You know, I love my Rubik cubes because I just love to do it just for fun. And another thing uh during 6 7 period we're doing like grading stuff and something like that. But until we're about to get free time, but no, that never happened. We're kind of taking like too long, and then I mean at least we finished the work, but yeah, we didn't get a free time, so that's unfortunately yikes. But still, at least I got my thing graded, so yeah, I got 15 out of 60, I think. So yeah, and I mean we're just having fun, you know. I was showing Rubik's cube solving, so yay, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it, everyone, and see you tomorrow, everyone. I will see you for the next week, week 6. So yeah, bye.